Hello my spooky besties, it's Chantel and welcome back to my spooky library. Okay, so I have a fun little book haul video for you guys today. We went to what do you call it? Like an antique market where they have like different stalls that has like a different person that runs it. And we got some books that I'm excited to share. And then we also went to VOA, which is Volunteers of America, which is a secondhand store here in Michigan. I don't know if they're anywhere else in the world or not. But to start off with, we got I Can Do It Myself, which is a Sesame Street read aloud book. And I picked this up because as a kid, Sesame Street was one of my all-time favorite things. And it's also very nostalgic to my husband. And I thought it would be a cute little book to have on hand for a children's library that we're currently working on building for, you know, our future kids and for my little sister for when she comes over. So this was a perfect add-on to that. And then I got 3 of the Adventures of the Bailey School Kids books. I've got Vampires Don't Wear Polka Dots, Aliens Don't Wear Braces, and Dracula Doesn't Rock and Roll. So I'm excited to have these. I've never read a Bailey's School Kids book, so I'm super excited to have these 3 books in my collection now so I can read them and see what all of the fun hype is all about, because I have seen the series title mentioned in the Old School April Discord. So yeah, super excited to have these. And then I checked this book out from the library, but I really wanted to have it in my collection because I absolutely adore this movie. But that is James and the Giant Peach by Ronald Dahl. I love the movie and I hope to read this book at some point this month for Old School April because it does have bugs on the cover and it does have a form of food. So that's super exciting. And then I found a book that I thought was very interesting looking. I've never heard about this book before, but this is Ghost Hunters and the Incredibly Revolting Ghost. I thought this was super cute looking and it has like nostalgic vibes to it. So I wanted to put it in my collection just to kind of say that I have something like this and to eventually read it for an Old School April. And then lastly, I have another Goosebumps book to add to my Goosebumps collection, and it is Goosebumps Slappy's World, and it's Slappy Birthday to You, and this is of course by the author R.L. Stine. I don't have a Slappy World book yet in my collection, so I'm so excited to be able to add this one to that part of my collection. Alright, so the last few books I have here are from Volunteers of America, and some of them are adult, like older adult books. Like for instance, this one is from 1973 and this one is from 1967. So got those, and then I have some older children's books, and one of them is very nostalgic to me because I did have it at one point in my library growing up as a kid and I read it a lot. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the adult ones. But we have A Wind in the Door by Madeline L. Ingle. This is a very short book, and what really captivated me about this book is the cover, the little creature thing with all of the legs and all of the eyeballs. And this would fit a prompt for Old School April, so we'll see if I add it to that. But I'm super excited to have this one because it does look very interesting. And then this one I'm getting, it's called a Paperback Library Gothic, but this kind of gives me like Giallo vibes, but that is Castle Cliff by Sandra Solman. I love this cover. So when I saw it, I instantly snagged this one up. But this one says, how long would Sophie Marlowe survive as the mistress of Castle Clive, an isolated mansion on the haunted English moors? And that's all I'm going to read of the synopsis because I don't want to know anymore. I just want to dive into this and see what it's all about because it just looks awesome. And then we have 4 children's books, and one of them is Ghosts Beneath Our Feet by Betty Wren Wright. I love this cover. And then we have a Shivers book, and this is The Enchanted Attic by M.D. Spencer. Love this very much. And then the book that is very nostalgic to me is The Frog Princess by Edie Baker. And I had this at one point, and I read this book multiple times, and I look forward to eventually picking it up this month for something very nostalgic. And then we have Mary-Kate and Ashley, Sweet 16, Never Been Kissed. I loved Mary-Kate and Ashley growing up, but like, look at the step back. Super stunning. I'm very excited to have this one in my collection now, and I have a feeling that it's just going to be super fun. But like I said, I feel like it's going to be super fun, and I hope to possibly get to this one for Old School April as well, but we will see as the month goes on. But that is all I have for you guys for this fun little mini book haul, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. I will see you guys in the next video or live stream. Stay spooky, my friends.